So the first half of 2.0 is slowly coming to an end, and if you still haven't wished on this phase, then you've probably already made up your mind on who's pull for. May all jingle you wanters be jingle you havers. For this video, I want to talk about Aventurine and the sustain meta, what will be best for your account and what I'm gonna do for mine. And oh, speaking about my account, on the same day I got Aventurine, I also got an early Lycon from the standard banner, which happens to be one of the best. Clara's Lycon. So yeah, give a like if you like Clara, I guess, and go watch that video if you haven't. I also got Akron's Lycon a few days ago, and I'm banking on an early Jingliu Lycon. Anyways, let's talk about the sustain meta. In Starry, when talking about sustains, you only have 3 options: preservation, abundance, and the Giga Chad wealth for those who haven't. But I'm sure most people don't, like I myself. So let's keep the Chad out of the way for now and talk about the other 2. Now, between abundance and preservation, their usefulness depends on what you're using them into, with preservation mainly being good for content that can one-shot you like the simulated universe, and abundance being good towards more DPS check focused contents like the Forgotten Hall, and also for enemies who like to place dots on you. Now, shields take damage in place of your character's HP, so they can be used against dots if your shields are tanky enough. The only problem with it being that the shielders we have in the game aren't all that good, with their main focus being drawing attention away from your other characters. Fire Trailblazer's kit is all about taunting, and unless you've got Tingyun on your team, Jeopard will also be the main focus of enemies. But the main problem that comes from shielders we have in the game is crowd control, as when they are controlled, you can't do much to protect your team. Now, for most scenarios, your shield goes down and you just end up taking some chip damage. But for something like the simulated universe, things can get really scary. As with a shielder, any damage you take is permanent unless you have a blessing to heal you, or you're going double sustain with a preservation and an abundance character, which isn't recommended. The abundance characters are better in the sense, as most of them we have in the game have a way to enable healing without it being their turn. Meaning, even if they get crowd controlled, the rest of the team can still proc their healing, but they fall short when it comes to enemies that do way too much damage and one-shots. And for most of them, if you don't get their shields or passive healing up in time, you could lose a character in a very annoying way. It's mainly a skill issue, but it still happens sometimes. And this is where Aventurine comes in. His shield is stackable, and when he releases, we will see the extent of it. But apart from that, his shields give a large amount of effect resistance to the team, 50% if I remember correctly, which helps with the crowd control. As for himself, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some effect resistance in his traces, and you'll probably get some when building him, which will make him very reliable. Apart from that, Aventurine can apply his shields without it being his turn yet, through his follow-up, which is the main part of why he's good. Enemies that deal AoE damage consistently fill up his follow-up bar, meaning you will need to use his skill as often. Paying attention to this, you'll find out that Aventurine solves the problem Xuan has. The problem with Xuan is that she struggles with the enemies that deal AoE damage, as she takes multiple instances of damage at once, getting dangerously low even by non-simulated universe bosses, making Aventurine seem superior. The only thing left is that he can't heal if your shield isn't able to tank an instance of damage, which isn't all that bad as he will most likely proc his follow-up, giving your team a shield. If I had the freedom of guaranteeing myself a character, I'd definitely pull for Aventurine, as he is free-to-play friendly and can make use of all the stupid defense pieces I have in my account. I literally have an inner Salsoto sphere and link rope with defense and double crit, which I have been saving for a long time. So what should you do? Which one is due a rerun, and Fogo will follow soon after that. We may even get some new sustain characters during that time as well. As I always say, pull for who you want, but looking at it logically, going for Aventurine is not a bad move, as most of the content that will follow soon after his release will be perfect for him. I'm sure he'll be able to preserve your account until you're able to comfortably pull for another sustain. But if you're still skeptical, you can wait a bit to see what all the guide makers come up with. If you've watched this far, then please consider subscribing so I can make more videos like this. Now let's talk about the other characters. Boothill and Robin are also coming soon. As for Robin, I'll wait to see if she's just as pull worthy as Ruanmei, cause I don't really like her aesthetics. Boothill on the other hand looks amazing, but Physical Hunt seems a bit skeptical for my account. Though after seeing Aklon's mechanics, I won't be surprised if they give him some broken mechanic that makes him relevant among the other DPSs. Hoyoverse is a business and they won't just release a borderline character and expect people to pull. Now the main character I'm looking at is one that competes on the same level as Blade in terms of how much I like them, and it's Sam. Now I don't know exactly how this character works because I find it hard to believe that Firefly is the one who said all of those lines, and there's just a voice changer added. I feel like those two are different characters, but I'm pretty sure that in terms of gameplay, they're gonna be brought as a combined character, because Sam is way too tall to be playable. So I'm confident he comes as a part of Firefly, so from now on, I'll be saying Firefly instead of Sam. And in terms of relevance, a fire destruction that utilizes HP seems amazing to me. Though Nihility is having their reign, it doesn't mean that destruction characters have gone down, and I'm super excited to see just how Sam turns out. So yeah, that was it for the video. Make sure to ask me any question you have down in the comment section, and also feel free to share the result of your pulls recently and what you'll be doing for future characters. And with that said, I'll catch you guys on the next one.